Ethan, hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another video. So for those playing at home or watching along at home, which is all of you guys, I've been here the last 3 days. This is gonna be the 4th day in a row we play here at Ocean 11. We've been playing a lot of poker in California. Hopefully you've been liking that content, but the last 3 sessions, if you've been keeping count, we're up 7,400. Wow. It's a lot. It's a high number in just 3 days, 3 sessions too. Just playing 2-5 and 2-3. Anyways, today's a Monday. I was told that they have like the 5-10 game running today. I'm not sure. We're gonna find out, but we'll be on a list. Probably hop back onto the 2-3 streets at first and then go from there. Can we make 4 incredible days last here at Ocean's 11? We'll find out. Wish us luck. So it turns out the 5-10-20 game is running and we are hopping right into it. First hand in, we're playing 3,000 deep. And the first hand, we actually play a bomb pot. It's a $50 bomb pot where we play every 30 minutes, so we pay the time. So let's go into it. We look down at King 6 of spades and the flop is Jack 8-7 2 spades. Playing 8-handed with 400 in the middle. The big blind throws out a bet and leads out for $150. The player to my right makes the call and I'm in early position with the king high flush draw. Welcome to the table. I guess we're gonna get involved early on. We decided to put in the raise to $600, hoping to God that no one has anything behind us. An action folds around to the player on the big blind who bet 150. He folds, and now the player to my right tanks for a long time before making the call for 450 extra. He's got a little over a pot size bet left. We're probably gonna have to rip it in on most turns. Let's see a good one. The turn comes the 3 of clubs, brings in a backdoor flush draw. There's so many draws out there, and when he checks to us, and with about $1,900 in his stack, let's just try to maximize fold equity here. I think I can get a lot of one pair Jack X holdings to fold, just because I have just every other strong hand in my range. So let's rep it. We rip it all in there with all of the 2 pair combos, and he tanks once again for a long, long time. Ultimately, puts in a chip for a call. Not good news for us, because he shows us Queen 3 of spades. We are very, very live, especially with the spades. Let's run it twice and hope to, I guess, chop it up and maybe take this down.
Wait, tournament style, let's flip them up.
2 times, 2 turns, 2 rivers.
Tournament style, let's go, flip them up.
Burn and turn.
King 3 spades. King 6 of spades.
Oh
You're
my
good,
God.
you're good. Scoop.
Wow. Oh my God.
Both runouts, both rivers, not good for us. We don't improve, and welcome to the 10-20 game. We pretty much get stacked first hand in. It was announced that there's no real cap at this game, so we put in 6K more on the table. We're in for $9,000 total in the biggest game of our lives. Let's try to chip back up. This next hand here, 5-6 of diamonds in a hijack. +1 opens up to $60. The player to my right, the person whom I just lost a 5K pot to, he makes the call, and in position here, facing the effective under the gun open since there's an under the gun straddle. I decide to just flat here, don't need to 3-bet just yet, and action ensues as the small blind and under the gun player make the call. Off to a flop, which comes 7-6-3 2 spades. Action checks back to me, and in position closing out the action. I decided to check with a middle pair and gutter. We see a turn, which comes a 7. Another really good card for us, as it's unlikely that anyone's going to have trips here, especially when action checks to me. It's a good card to protect my pair in, so I throw out $130, pretty small bets, and we get 2 players to call, +1 and the player to my right. Off to a river, which comes a 9. Not a card that we're going to bet on, and when an action checks to me, I just check it back. They announced that they had absolutely nothing, so we show our pair of 6s and taking it down. First hand 1 of the day. Can't lose them all. In this next spot, picking up ace-king of diamonds in the big blind, playing 5-handed here, so pretty short. Cutoff limps, the button raises to $85. He's been super aggressive, especially in position, so on the button here, definitely going to be putting in the 3-bet against him out of position. We size to $325 out of position, and it folds back to the button. He makes the call fairly quickly. Off to a flop, which comes 10 deuce 4 rainbow. On this flop, we're just going to make the C-bet here. Good old C-bet with ace-king high. We throw out a bet of $275. He decides on a snap call, which is going to be pretty interesting. Now to the turn, which comes the 10 of diamonds. Brings in the backdoor flush draw, and I think this is a pretty decent turn, I guess, as it does improve us. We're definitely going to be losing to any trips here, but let's try to barrel and bet big again. I size to $800. He only has about $1,700 in front and starts counting out his chips. It's going to be really unfortunate for him to rip it in there with $800 more, but we're going to have to make that call if he does, but doesn't come to that as he folds, tells me he has ace-king, and I'll take it. I'll save myself from a chop. Happy to take this one down. Still got a long ways to go after that first hand. Next spot in the small blind with 4 or 5 of diamonds. The hijack opens up the action to $60. The button makes the call, who's been playing super wide, the player to my right. Now onto me. I'm going to put in that 3-bet with our lovely suited connector. 4 or 5 of diamonds, always fun to play, so I 3-bet to $300. My perception is that the table thinks that I'm only going to be 3-betting premiums, especially out of position, just because I'm pretty new and I think they're aware that I'm taking a shot at this game. Anyways, I don't think that's the perception anymore because both players make the call. We've got a pretty big pot brewing with 900 in the middle. Let's see a good flop. Flop comes 5, 3, deuce, rainbow. Good enough for us. I'm out of position. I definitely need to c-bet this with top pair, open-ended. I'm just not sure what sort of sizing I'm going for, whether I'm going for a value bet or a semi-bluff. Who freaking knows, but I size up to $750 to protect my pair. Both tank for a long time. They both fold. The player on my right wanted to see what the turn was. The turn would have been the 5 of clubs, so wow, that would have been really cool if someone called. This next hand, we pick up an actual hand this time. Pocket aces on the big blind. Let's go. The hijack opens up to $65. The button makes the call, and this hijack player just got stacked. He potentially could be tilted, so let's obviously put in the 3 bets. We size to $325, and both players snap call. Sheesh. No respect here so far, but let's see a flop. Flop comes deuce, deuce, 3, 2 clubs, and a heart. Pretty good flop for us, I guess. I guess we're just going to be charging draws. We're going to get value from other pocket pairs. We throw out a bet of $450. This hijack snap calls this bet, and we're off to a turn. Turn comes the 4 of hearts, so I'm really unsure what to do now. Not sure what's the best line, but hopefully he can call another big bet. Try to get stacks in here, because I'm sure I'm good here, as I don't block any of the draws. I size to $1,400, and with this bet, he now snap folds, so I guess he had pretty easy decisions to make. Next hand after aces, picking up king, queen of hearts. There are 4 whole limpers to me. Not really expecting this to be a limp happy table, but this is interesting. Anyways, I decided to raise it up to $160 given all of the limps out there. +1 player who limped calls, the cutoff makes the call, and the big blind calls as well. Let's go 4 ways to a flop, which comes queen, 10, 3, 2 clubs. Top pair, good kicker. We're definitely ahead most of the time on boards like these, but it's very draw heavy. Given that fact, I decided to c-bet $560. With this bet, only the cutoff makes the call, who, from my perspective, looks like he's tilting just a little bit. He's been stacked once or twice and losing a few hands. We'll see a turn. The turn comes the 6 of clubs. Really not a great card, but a little concerning given that he does have all of the flush combos right now. Anyways, with top pair, I still think my hand's pretty good, and I want to charge 1 club holdings the max. So with that said, I bet pretty big for value and size to 975. He now snap calls, which is an interesting point of note. Snap call, I guess not too good of a hand to raise, but good enough to see a river. The river comes the jack of hearts. Oh, yuck. That's disgusting. We're sitting about 2k deep, give or take. Do I ever turn my hand into a bluff? Because I think value betting is going to be super thin here if I were to bet. But it'd be pretty sick for us to be beat as well. But he has so many 2-pair combos, jack 10, queen jack, all of that fun stuff. And it doesn't seem like he's going to be folding 2-pair if I were to jam. So with that said, I decided to check. He puts in the jam for $2,100 total. This is terrible. Like I said, he's been tilted before, so it definitely can have some bluffs in his range. But I think this jam is weighted to a lot of sets, 2 pairs, and obviously sometimes flushes as well. But I just don't think that's too concerning. At the end of the day, this river jam is not great for us. Certainly, calling would be very ambitious given our strength of the hand with just a bluff catcher. With that said, I tank and end up folding. Not great to hear him rejoice right when I fold. He shows his king jack offsuit with the king of clubs, and yeah, you made the vlog, Nick. This next hand is bomb pot time. $50, 8 ways. Let's see a flop. I look down at queen 10 of hearts in the big blind, and the flop comes 10, 5, deuce, 2 diamonds. Well, it's a good flop for us, top pair and decent kicker. The small blind throws out a bet of $60. I think this 60 is going to be a little too small for us. We decide to put in the raise to 300 and see if anyone has a stronger hand behind us. Action pretty quickly folds around to the button. He decides to rip his whole stack in there for $1,005 total. The small blind folds, and yeah, after just getting bluffed, we're just going to make the call, I guess. See what happens. Ride the variance. We put in $705. He asks to run it twice. I always say sure, whatever you want. So we're off to 2 runouts, 2 turns in rivers. The first board is pretty good for us until the river where he hits his gutter. And the second board, not great for us either. He shows us 6-4 of diamonds. He wins both runouts. We're not chopping this up. He scoops it all. This next hand gets a little dicey, a little interesting, looking down at Jack 9 of spades in +1. I decide to open up the action to $60 here with a playable Jack. Then the cutoff 3 bets to $240. It folds all the way around to me, and I've seen this player 3-bet light the last few times. I think after showing down some of those light 3-bets, he's certainly able to do that again here in position, since this is also the 3rd time of me opening my hand in a row. With that said, let's try to balance our 4-betting range, because I think he can 3-bet light. Let's try to punish that and put in a 4-bet. We size $660. With this 4-bet, this is not big enough for a fold as he makes the call. So we're off to a flop, which comes Jack, Deuce, 3 rainbow. It's pretty much as dry as it gets, and with top pair, not a kicker that we can rely on. We still need a bet for value, so I decided to size down here in this instance. We bet $425. With this bet, he makes the call. What kind of hands do I put him on? I think I'm ahead of pocket 8s, pocket 7s. Those hands he certainly can do that with. Queen Jack, suited maybe. Ace Jack, not really. He also has a lot of premiums in his range for sure, but let's see a turn. Turn comes the 10 of spades, brings in a full rainbow. It's not the best card as I'm behind pocket 10s now. And I don't really see any merit to betting for value. Don't think hands that I'm ahead of is going to call a turn bet anyways, so I check. Now he puts in a bet, throws out $805 in there, and I've got top pair. Do I make the call here and bluff certain rivers? I'm not sure, but we don't fold just yet. We make the call, and we've got a pretty monster pot brewing. The river comes the ace of clubs. This is actually really good, as this shouldn't hit his range too much, calling on the flop and betting turn. Unless a hand like ace 10 or ace jack, I guess. Anyways, I think I'm going to put in the check raise here. So me first to act, I check. Thinking if he's going to fire small, I can just rip it in there and get a fold out of him. He checks it back though, and I show my hand. We take it down as he mucks. So maybe pocket 8s, pocket 7s? Not entirely sure, but we're happy to take this down.
What is happening here? Is this a 4-bet pot? Who's 4-bet? Be up big, tremendous. I'd be up big.
From one tricky spot to another, this one is interesting with 10-7 of clubs on the button. We get an undergun player who opens it up to $50. There are 2 players to make the call, and yeah, I guess I call too. Widening up my range a little bit. We're in position, we're on the button. Not recommended regardless. Anyways, this flop is going to go 5 ways as we get some more callers. So flop 5 ways comes Jack 9 3 2 clubs. All things considered, a pretty good flop for us. 10 high flush draw, also with the gutter ball. Action checks to me surprisingly, and definitely trying to build a pot, maybe get some folds. We bet $175, and with this bet, we get some players to make the call, specifically the hijack and under the gun players. So we went from 5 ways to 3 ways to the turn. Turn comes a king. Really interesting card for us as it improves us to a double gutter along with our 10 high flush draw. But when the under the gun player checks, hijack leads out for $525, and he's got about $1,200 behind. Here, I've certainly got the decision to make and debating between calling or raising in this spot. We're in position. I kind of want to get this heads up and just isolate the hijack, whom I'm sure I'm drawing pretty well to. So I decided to raise in this instance to $1,500. Now we've got some action and we've got some issues. The under the gun player jams $6,000 total. The hijack snap calls for $1,700, and now we're on to me. I think with this action, it's very clear someone has Queen 10. It's a 10K pot. I've got $4,500 more to make the call for the side pot and main pot. This is just massive. There was really no need for me to raise on the button, and now I'm obviously regretting that decision. But with one card to come, with 4,500 more to make the call, and I'm unsure whether I'm drawing really slim or really live against the under the gun player who jammed 6K. Yeah, not great. So, anyways, we have to let this one go, which sucks. So we just kind of gave away $1,500 into the abyss. But we fold. They decided to run it twice. On both runouts, I would not have improved. The under the gun player shows pocket 9s for a flopped set, and the hijack, who had the smaller stack, with Queen 10. So we never got there, but we kissed $1,500 goodbye. In this next spot, we are playing 5, 10, 20, 40, as there's someone who puts in the double straddle to 40. Oh boy. Anyways, we have ace-jack offsuit in the hijack, and the player to my right open limps for $40. With that said, we've got to bump up our raising price. We raised to $175. Now folds to the small blind, player named Hugh, shout out to you, who watches the channel. He 3-bets to $500. Action folds back to me, and I should probably be folding in this spot, especially against a small blind who has been playing fairly tight so far. Putting in that 3-bets probably is going to signify a strong range, but for one reason or another, we decided to make the call. I am probably having a little too wide of a range after losing a few pots. Anyways, the flop comes Queen 10 3 2 clubs. I actually check out of turn by accident. I thought I was first to act. Anyways, he throws out a bet of $400, and for one reason or another, I can't tell you, I've just had a feeling that if we were to raise this and commit his stack, he was going to fold. So with that said, I don't know why, just putting him on specifically ace-king. So anyways, I decided to put in that raise to $1,200. This does not work as he announces all in for $1,650 total. Only $450 more. I can't fold now, I don't think. This is quite a donation. We toss in the call and I tell him this is just like Christmas for him given this situation. We agree to run it twice. He says he doesn't have a pair, which is actually worse because he actually does have ace-king and we're drawing super slim.
I don't have a pair.
Yeah, that's even worse for me. Yeah, we've run it twice. But I'm
You have flush draw? Yeah, ace-king. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I would have fucking stacked them both.
I thought ace-king could fold.
We lose both runouts. He shows ace-king high. He wins the first board with ace high. He wins the second board with the straight. We're stuck a bunch now. All right, this next hand is back again with the bomb pots. Let's do it. $50, 8 ways. Let's go to a flop of King 6-4 Rainbow. We look down at aces. Oh my god, are you kidding me? How do we pick up aces in this bomb pot? Horrible timing. I check and action checks around. We see a free turn which comes at 10. Don't love seeing turns 8 ways, but with one pair here, I lead out for $125 just to see where I'm at. The big blind raises immediately to 350. Not great. Action folds around. The low jack 3-bets to $2,000. I just snap fold. We have to get out of there. The big blind makes the call for less than 2K. The river comes a brick. They both show king 10, and bad time to get aces. Not working out for us. Last hand of the night, we're playing 6-handed. Table has dwindled down a little bit. We have ace queen of clubs in the big blind, and the small blind open limps. Playing blind versus blind, this is a good spot to raise it up, so I sized to $115. And as expected, with the wide range, he makes the call. The flop comes 8 deuce deuce, and when he checks to us, I think we just have to value bet ace high here, assuming he's going to call a very wide range on the flop, like I've seen many times before. I sized to just $75 to bait him in. He makes the call. The turn comes a 7. He checks, and unimproved here. Think it's going to be a little too thin to just bet for value again, so I decided to check it back. The river comes a 6. The board more connected than I would like it to be. And now he throws out a bet of $125. I'm pretty darn tilted at this point. I just toss in a call with ace queen high. He shows us 9-7 off. And I think this is the hand that kind of broke me here. Little demoralized now, or very demoralized now. Yeah, this is going to end off this session.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. We played for 7 hours, and 2 big hands, man. It just, I guess to cap it off, like things really went off the rails. I've been thinking about like what I want to say to recap this shot taking session. Obviously, it did not go great. We bluffed a little bit too much, and the hands. I mean, honestly, like so after losing 2,500. More than that, something around 2,500 in the first legit hand that we set down at, we ended up crawling back to about even for a while. We were sitting about even, up or down like a few hundred here and there for a long time, until we played the 10-7 of clubs hand. That one was bad. And then we played the ace jack. Those 2 hands back to back were disasters for me. Overplayed 10-7. Really shouldn't be in that spot. This is why we don't play 10-7 of clubs. 10-7 suited. It's not gonna go well. Oh, fuck me. Wow, this is not going well for me. Anyways, 10-7 was bad, ace jack was bad, and honestly that was it. So we played for 7 hours. We were in the game for 9,000. Out of it for 57.55, something like that, some weird number. So we lost about 3,200 today, all because of the 10-7 and ace jack. We bluffed a little too much, more than we should have. We played one last hand that I didn't go over in the video. We flopped a set of 10s. Playing 4-handed, we're playing really short. Flopped a set of 10s. I got 3 streets of value, which is nice. He actually led out on the river. I raised, he bet like 650 on the river. I raised a 2K and he folded, unfortunately. So that was fine. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Definitely leave a like, because this one's rough, man. This one was rough. So I would have loved to end off 4 straight sessions here at Ocean's 11 really well, but that's poker. I guess we're still positive, still up around 4K, give or take, which is nice. Just would have been better if we didn't shot take. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I don't know. More to come. More fun stuff to come. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.